Andrew DiCapua is principal economist at the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. Andrew, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Great to be here.
And, I want to start with something that I feel gets overlooked in the conversation about the Canadian economy lately, because we're so focused on that U.S. relationship and the importance of trade and our exports. It's how big and strong our domestic economy is and what that represents as a source of opportunity and growth. Do you think we could do better at actually paying attention to and fostering that side of the equation?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, I think if there's one thing that I'm concerned about as we head into a new year, is that there's a lot of noise that is going on, right? We have threats to central bank independence. We've got geopolitical risks that are coming back to the forefront. We have, the prime minister heading externally to different countries to try to improve, our relations with other countries, as well as opening up new opportunities. And so there's a lot going on, and we got to remember that we have to get back to the root issues, which is the domestic economy, right? It is investing more here so that we can produce more, that we can pay better wages, and that we can grow the domestic economy. And so that is definitely something that we have to stay focused on, because, one of the things that I think we're all tired of is sort of this survival mode, right? We need to start thriving, move from surviving to thriving. Yep. And that requires investment, that requires, focus. And so that's something that we're going to be, paying attention to, because we've been doing an awful lot of talking. And this is the year where expectations are quite high, as you mentioned, and is going to definitely involve the business community in making that happen.
One of the stories recently that I feel like is sort of a sleeper story of great importance was McDonald's Canada lowering its prices. It's a small thing it did. It's a big company. Obviously, it can take a hit to margins here or there. But to me, it speaks to its concern about its consumers. It is a value play, and it's worried people will only pay $1 for their small coffee, or they won't buy that coffee. I'm worried about what that says about the state of business confidence in this country. What are you hearing from your member base? Are they feeling okay about the consumer and that domestic economy holding up in the year ahead?
Yeah. Well, affordability is still around, right? It is still top of mind for Canadian households, and the business community, of course, is definitely hearing that. I mean, if you look at, in terms of your question around how businesses are feeling, in our latest Q4 Business Insights survey, consumer confidence is still subdued. And when you look at consumer confidence, it is also subdued. I think something interesting that we're seeing, at least in the economic data, is that we're seeing this decoupling of consumer confidence and consumer spending and consumer demand, right? Based on our sales tracker data, sales are still up about 4% on a year-over-year basis. And even when you adjust for, population, which is declining, it's still growing on a per person basis. So, of course, affordability is still top of mind. It's just decoupling a little bit from the economic data, which makes getting to the issue a little bit more concerning. Affordability is still going to be an issue this year, but the one silver lining in this is that CPI seems to be growing on target. Price stability is still there in general, yeah. And definitely affordability measures are affordability rather is going to need to be addressed, but it's not a silver bullet.
One of the things that might help, of course, domestic economy and our companies here is the Buy Canadian push. Is it too soon to quantify the kind of difference that support might make?
So whether it's on goods or services, it seems like Canadians have really, started to buy Canadian goods over American goods. Even snowplow manufacturers are buying Canadian steel. Ice cream makers are using fruits and nuts from Canada. So there has been a shift in that, but what I would say is, about 50% of businesses, based on our most recent survey, are indicating that they're not actually taking any action as a result of the trade war. And, to me, that is, a concerning stat as it pertains to sort of getting out of this mess and sort of taking the action necessary now to diversify markets, to improve our domestic, capabilities, to be able to sell more to other markets.
So good to have you, Andrew. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Amanda.